All right, so welcome everyone to our CCNP meeting for this week. A couple things. Again, first off, official class end date is May 5th. I don't expect everybody to be done. So we will continue to have access to Netacad and NetLab so you can finish up. Your hands-on final will be a YAML file that I am going to get to you. It is not done yet, but I'm actually redoing one of the hands-on finals to be done inside of CML. And so I even have the pre-configs and everything in there for you. So that's on my to-do list. So I will be getting that to you next week. So be aware there is a hands-on final. You will have it and it will be sent to you next week. Other things, obviously, many of you are on the list to take ENS ARSI in summer. I'll be sending out on Monday or Tuesday, probably Monday, registration links for you to register for that class. It will be free. It is only open to those of you who are in this current class. So there will be no new classmates. It is a one-time only for you. I'm working on some stuff to maybe start offering CCNP classes consistently if I can get CML consistently, but we'll see. I don't know yet. But so you're getting lucky that, I won't say lucky, but yeah, you are, that I'm even offering it in the summer because again, I'm teaching 5 classes already. You'll make my 5th class in the summer. So it is going to be a crazy summer. Plus, I just found out that I may be teaching for the military. So it's going to be a little while. I want to talk to you a little bit. I sent you an email today about the labs inside of the CCNP, and in fact, the labs dealing with our the programmability stuff. So what I did, and now I got to go find it because I sent 5 million emails this afternoon. Unless I forgot to click send. Nope, here it is. Okay, I did do it. So inside of the CCNP, there are, and I'm gonna put this in chat, folks, there are a couple labs that are basically programmability. Well, instead of trying to take those CCNP labs and make them fit the DevNet pod, the DevNet labs that do the exact same thing are available. So I'm just giving you the DevNet labs and letting you use them. So instead of doing CCNP lab 2814, you're going to do DevNet lab 836, which is right here. And we're actually going to go through 837 together. But 837 will be for 2815. And then I threw in this Ansible lab, even though there's not one on Ansible in the CCNP, because I just think it's a cool lab. So you're going to be doing that. So what we're going to do today is I'm actually going to go in here and I'm going to pop open the DevNet lab. And I am using, let me turn my camera on real quick. Actually, I only have to turn my camera on and go right here. I am using this document right here. So if you want to pull this document up on your machine, it's in our class and it's under the first set of modules. But I'm going to be using this REST conf to access an iOS XE device. I probably won't do the whole thing, but we'll do a good number of it so you can just kind of get a look. But under modules, I put these labs up at the very top so you don't have to go digging for them. But I'm in this one, 837. So you just do a normal reservation on the DevNet pod, give yourself a couple hours, whatever you need, and then you are good to go. Now, the excellent thing is that as you see here, you've got the workbench and the 1000V. Here in the 1000V, if we hit enter, show IP brief, we've got 192.168, 56.101. I will tell you there was one section in here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. All right. So they actually fixed it. Okay, good. Because when I was trying to make the CCNP lab work for this pod, I had to assign this IP address statically, but they actually have that fixed in this lab. So yeehaw, it's even better than I thought it was. So I can go in here on the workbench and I can ping make sure I have connectivity, because I guarantee you, you will not be able to do REST conf if you can't ping it. And there we go. So we have pingage between them. So I was saying dupe, but it's okay. It's just, it's seen that as a result of the DHCP. So I'm on page 2, and we're going to go over here and we're going to verify SSH connectivity to the 2.168.56.101. Oops, not 104, 101. I need to ignore that. It's okay. Sorry, I gotta do it. SSH Cisco at 192.168.56.101. Key exchange reset by peer. I'm not sure why that did that. Let's do this then. Let's go over here and let's do config t crypto key generate RSA. Let's do 512 is fine. Do right. Let's go back over now and see if we can make it work. Nope. So not sure why that's doing that. Should not be having that problem. It worked fine before, but it is causing a problem. So let's just move forward and see if it works. If it won't, it won't, and I'll figure it out from here. That's what flying without a net is for. So let's do a show platform, software, Yang management, and then process to see if it's all running. So you see here, we got to make sure that everything is running. So we got Nginx, we got everything running here. And now we're going to turn on REST conf. Config T. I'm going to type REST conf. And now do show. Oh wow, I'll be here for days if I try to type that out. Just hit the up arrow. And now REST conf. They're all running now. That comp service, NGX. All right, so NGX is running, everything's running, so we're good. Now we're going to turn on our HTTP server. HTTP secure server. And then IP HTTP authentication. Local. All right, so that's on. So Nginx is running. Everything should be good to go on that. Now we're going to try on the workbench. We're going to open up Postman. And so here's Postman. We've got to turn off SSL verification. If you don't, you'll end up with a problem. So we go into our basic settings here. We turn off SSL verification. All right. And then now inside of here, we're going to do a Postman. We're going to do a GET request, and our GET request is going to be to https://192.168. Do you have any questions, by the way? Everybody's being very quiet. Kind of scary.
My hand raised. I was trying to figure out which exact of the 3 labs that you downloaded, but it's the RESTCon one, correct?
Yes, the REST conf one. I'm doing the REST conf lab.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I was trying to follow along with you. It's no worries.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't see your hand raised. I apologize.
It's okay. I figured out, so I lowered it.
Okay, all right. Now we got to do authorization. So we go here and we're going to do basic auth. And we should put in Cisco. And Cisco 123 exclamation point. Show the password, make sure I put it in correctly. Yep. And then we've got to tell it what kind of data we want to actually get. So you want to do it in JSON. So we're going to go to the headers and we're going to add a key. And in this key, we're going to make it content type. Content type. Hold on 1 second, folks. Let me grab this. They've called twice back to back. Sorry, folks. Somebody was looking for local computer support. The things we do, other duties as assigned, right? All right, so content type, and then it is going to be application. Application / yang - data plus JSON. So basically we're accepting JSON. All right. All right, make sure I get this right because I need to add that one in, which we did. We need another key called accept. And we're going to do the exact same thing for the value as application / yang. So we're going to send and receive basically data in a JSON format. All right, that's what we want to do here. Now we send this and we should have got something. So we're getting cannot send requests. I'm going to make sure my auth is working. I guarantee it's related to my SSH not working. All right, so let me do something real quick. Let me actually just to take this out of the equation. Make sure that the fact that DHCP is not causing an issue with SSH for some reason. Pop that up and then let's try again. Okay, I know exactly what's going on. Exactly what's going on. All right. These two did not boot up in a separate. They did not boot up in a separate vSwitch. I guarantee it. Guarantee that that's why it's not working. By closing that other one, I bet you I'll fix it. All right, so let's do this again. Sorry, folks, but like I said, sometimes we learn as we go. Software management process. You can see everything's already running, so we don't need to turn on Nginx or any of that stuff. We should be able to ping here, and I bet we will not get a duplicate because we don't have 2 pods up and running. So there's a problem with our pod design, but we'll fix that. Now, I guarantee you I can SSH Cisco at 192.168.56.101. Look at that. And Cisco 123 exclamation point. Well, the good news is, folks, you've got an instructor who's worked enough with these systems to know exactly what the problem is. The bad news is I've got to fix that issue. Now, you would run into this issue, but you're not going to run into it because I'm going to get it fixed.
Okay.
So yes and no.
Okay.
I'm going to take every pod but one offline, and then that way there's no way you can run into this same issue. So
Okay.
basically what happened was 2 pods booted up at the same time, and they were sharing the same V switch when they should not have. They should have created their own V switch. And that's a process that typically takes place on the back end automatically. Since this is a beta pod, that functionality must not be turned on yet. So we'll get it fixed. It's not something that's insurmountable. I'll make it easy by only making 1 pod available, and then that way there's no way anybody can accidentally cause a problem for another student. The negative is you're going to have to, it's going to take, the pod may not be available for you.
Okay.
But yeah, I can fix that. But no, I'm gonna go back through the same thing. By the way, you notice what I'm doing here. I'm just setting up the SSH credentials. So it's the same thing that we had before. And the reason I couldn't get into it is because 1, there were 2 devices trying to be the same device. And 2, we had the SSH wouldn't work because of duplicate IP addresses. So let's go back in here, set my content again. Again, we're going to set the content, what we're going to send. Content type, and again it's application, and there should actually application JSON should actually be in here. Let's see if it's in here. Well, maybe not. Application, oops, helps if you spell it right, /yang -data plus JSON. Since we're going to need the exact same thing again, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to copy it. And then here we'll do accept. Go here, paste it. All right, now we should be able to do a send. And we still got nothing. Why did we get a refusal? Oh, I bet you money I got to go turn on, and I forgot to turn on this. IP HTTP secure server. IP HTTP authorization. Got what it was, authorization. Authentication. Duh. Long day, folks. Authentication local. Now let's go back and try it. That's part of the lab, by the way. It's in the lab documents. I just didn't do it. I still refused. All right, well, I didn't do this other part either, so let's go back and do that I need to do. I need to turn on REST conf. So that is on. Now I've actually done everything that I had done before. So now let's try it. Doesn't work now, I'm going to have to troubleshoot offline. All righty, then I don't have a clue why it's not working. Let me go back. Authorization. Got my basic auth. Everything there is fine. I did. Oh, guess what? You changed Postman and you didn't turn off your verification. Still not getting it. Now, what in the world? All right, now, folks, I'm at a loss. I've got my, everything should be working. I've got JSON working. I've got show platform. Everything's set to be running. Software. Everything I have is running. Copy. Oops. Net comp should be running. Rest comp is running. So NCCS HD, all that's running. So it's all there running. Because the NCS SHD is your net comp daemon, or rest comp daemon. Nginx is running. Okay. Let me make sure I've not messed up something simple, which is possible. Very possible. Nope, I didn't do it. All right, I know I have connectivity. I know I have SSH. All of it's running. Nginx is running. Okay. I just literally did this lab. All right, let me try something. I actually tested. I mean, I know for a fact this works because I literally just did. I did the CCNP lab. Now you don't really. All Postman is an interface to be able to send REST comp API calls. That's all that is. So it's really not. But I know, like I said, I used the CCNP labs to perform this exact same thing. Just the other day, I mean, day before yesterday, and it worked perfectly fine. So let me get it booted up again. Maybe it was something relating. In fact, I was able to get all of this to work. Yeah, I actually got this entire section to work using the lab from the CCNP documents, which are actually have less in them than what this has. So this should have worked, no problem. But we all know how that is. Ran through it to make sure it would work. Quick thing I will tell you, again, remember that I believe the written final is on. With this course does not have a certification voucher, unfortunately. They do not give out any certification vouchers for CCNP. They don't even give out any for us when we're doing for instructor training anymore. As ITQs. So. All right, come on now, finish up. Let me go back. Any other questions? Yeah, I know, David. And like I said, what's so aggravating is I did it yesterday and it worked. And then I made the decision to go with these labs because they should work directly without having to do any changes at all. And it worked, no problem. And now it's been aggravating. But you know, it can't work the first time. If it did, why would we need instructors, right? So there we got that. We got this. Yeah, exactly. It's all research at this point. 92.168.56.101. There it goes. So we're good there. So we know that's working. We're going to SSH Cisco. Can type Cisco at 192.168.56.101. Yes, we want that. And password is Cisco 123. Bang. We're in. All right. Show platform. Yeah. Software. Yeah. Process. And now you see everything's running already. We got that. We got Nginx.
What was the problem?
The API is simply not connecting.
Okay.
The netcomp API is not connecting. Everything's on. So everything on this device is correct. So I know that is correct. Postman was not wanting to connect. So we're going to go into Postman. We're going to try this again. And it may have been related to those two pods being booted at the same time and causing an issue. But we're going to turn off, make sure you turn off your SSL verification. If you don't do that, it definitely will not work. That is a given. Then we're going to create our GET request. And all this should really do is give us a, I think I know exactly what it was. I think I had put HTTP instead of HTTPS. I actually think it was that simple. Okay. And we go to authorization. We do basic auth, which is just username, password. And that's why you had to do that local authentication, because it authenticates to that local username that is in there. And then in your headers, you've got to do the correct content type, which you've now seen 3 times. So you should be about able to remember this now. Oh, not length, type. Application /yang data ng dash data plus JSON. Okay, Kelly has typed that correctly, so that is right. So we're going to do content type, and then we're going to, under this key, the key is by accept, and the value is the exact same thing as before, which is plus JSON. Okay. Now we should be able to send a request. And there it is. You know what it was, folks? Some of you should have seen that.
What?
I'm blaming y'all.
The what? The HTTP?
Yeah, I
The
didn't,
protocol?
I didn't put HTTPS. I'm pretty sure that's what the problem was. But here's the neat thing. You'll see now
Write this down.
we have a connection to this router via Postman or via RESTConf. So this is saying I can connect to the device via RESTConf. Now, here's the real cool thing. We can go in here now and we can duplicate this tab. And we're going to change this to pull more information than just RESTConf. In other words, what we just did was just tell me that you're running RESTConf and we have connectivity between us. Now what we're going to do is we're going to say, I want you to tell me about the following. I want you to tell me about your interfaces. All right. And for some reason, me and IATF, I cannot spell that to save my life. Interfaces, interfaces. And now if I click send, you're going to see there's the interfaces that are available on this box. Now I'm going to show you something cool. I'm going to go ahead and do something neat. I'm going to go over here and we're going to create another one here in a minute, but I'm going to create an interface loopback 0. I'm going to put an IP address on it of 192.168.12.1 and then do 255. Okay, do a no shut. Now watch this. This is something really cool. I can come back over here now and do a send and take a look. Now see that loop back? that's proving to you that I am pulling the information off that device because it's taking RESTCOMP, taking an API call, and yeah, you will taking a RESTful call, API call over to the CSR 1000D and pulling the information off in order to show that the information on the interfaces themselves. So in this case, we pulled the information off of all the interfaces. We're now going to do just a single interface. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change it from interfaces. And you could actually, we can duplicate this. So let's actually duplicate this request again. Whoops, duplicate. And instead of interfaces, we're going to do interfaces, and then / interface equal gigabit Ethernet 1. And now you'll see it's just information about gigabit Ethernet 1. And this is where they want you to create an interface or to post an interface. So we're going to change this, but you need to have the information on the IP address. Now we can cheat because I went in and put a loopback in there. So we could actually do the next portion of the lab by me just putting in here loopback 0. And now you'll see that we've got this IP address. So what I'm going to do now, up to this point, I've only done a GET request. I've only pulled information off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, duplicate this tab, and now watch what we can do. We can do a put, and we're going to, on this, we're going to, in the body here, we'll do raw data, okay? But we're going to go back to this GET request, and we're going to pull, actually we'll go back to this request because it's just got the loop back. We're going to pull all this information off right here. So Control C, or actually just right click and copy. And then I'm going to go to my put request right here. And I'm going to do paste. And we're going to change this to loopback 1. So we're going to create a new loopback 1. We're going to give it the name of loopback 1. Okay. We're going to assign it a different IP address. So we're going to assign this the IP address of 10.1.1.1. All right. And now, unless I have messed something up, which I believe I got it right. Oh, that's right. That's right. So now we're going to put the request. In fact, I can put a description in here if I wanted to, but I'm not going to put one in here. I'm going to click send. Now let's see if we got it. Show IP. Oop, I messed something up. So let's go back over here. I got to mess up with my software loopback. That is correct. True. Enable true. Oh, no wonder. I was on the wrong one. Let's see if it did it. Yep, nope, it did not. I'm still messing something up on my thing here. So let's go back, close that one. I got too deep in my different examples. Okay, so all right, so we can duplicate this one. And we're going to put this. So we go put. We got to change this to interfaces / interface equal loop back 1. Okay. Then we need to set this to under body. You have to set it to raw so you can put the data in here. So we need to get right here, we need to get all of this information all the way down. Make sure we got it all. Need to paste it. Got everything there, and we're going to change this to loop back 1. Description will be KFC's loop back. Type is not an Ether, it's not Ethernet anymore. It's now called a software loopback. So software loopback. Okay. We're going to get rid of this loopback down here. So we're going to get rid of this one because we don't need that. Okay. We don't need any of that. That should all go away there. We should be able to get just that. It's a bad request. And my syntax is wrong. So what have I done wrong here? Oh, hold on. I believe I got to close that. Now let's try it. All right. Nope, still didn't do it right. So let me change this back to make this easier. So let me look at my, so I got 17 different levels deep. So I'm going to do it like this, and I'm going to copy this. And you'll notice, folks, if you do not get it exactly right, it will not work. Let's change this back to loopback 1. The software loopback. The IP address here will be we're going to actually copy. Actually, we got it right there. So we'll do this right here. IP address, that, and we got address. So we're going to come down here, type address. And like I said, if you don't follow it exactly, and by adding that extra loopback, I actually kind of messed myself up. Okay. And that should go all the way down here. End of this. I'll close it with the brackets. And that should put my address inside of there. And we got to change this to 10.1.1.1. And I, of course, still have not got the request correct. So I'm gonna have to really play with this. Let's try it like this, and let's move up and just take out this loopback. That should be it right there. And then we should be able to do this one. 10.1.1. If you didn't do the extra little thing I did, folks, it works perfectly. I've messed up the syntax, and it's aggravating me. See, it's trying to do it, but it's saying you can't run the netcomp command because I've been unsuccessful. So here's what we're going to do. we got to put this in here, 192. And you do actually, it tells you in the lab to do this, to put in the IP address. 6101. Ah. Now let's go back over here and let's get rid of some stuff so I don't have. Don't save. That's the basic one, and this is this one. So we're gonna there. Now we got this all fixed, so we don't have to. We won't have the error that we had last time. So let's save this. Copy that, and now we can duplicate this. Using all the other stuff, folks, I had extra stuff in there which caused it to fail. Interface equal. Oops, equal. Loop back 1. Okay, we're going to put, and we're going to go to body raw. We're going to paste this, which should now, we should be able to just change this to loop back 1. KFC's loop back. Type is software. Oops. That's enough. Software loop. Type colon software loop back. That is correct. IP address is going to be 10.1.1.1. And that. And now, still bad request. What am I doing wrong? Let's go in here and see what it's telling us. Send it again, and I'll get up here at the top. Interface equals loop back 1. ITF interface name loop back. Okay. We got 1, 2, 1, 2. Still same bad request. Well, folks, I've messed up somewhere. I just had to, I'm trying to find the mistake here. I think that may be it right there. Okay. Description is that type enabled. IETF is correct, and that is correct. Then we've subbed into that. IETF. It should be that. And there should only be one thing there. So that's gone. If you don't get the syntax exactly right, it will not work. So that one's to that one. That one is to there. Yep. And then this one, where does that one go to? trying to find my other,
Mhm.
because I got to find where that one goes to, the close on that one, which should be. All right, let's try it.
Yeah, you're missing one.
Yep, I'm missing one. I got to find it though. So we got that to that. We got
Yep.
that one. That one's there. And then oh man.
But the good news is if we follow it
Oh, it'll
line by
work.
line,
Yeah,
okay, good.
it will
But yeah,
work.
you're missing a curly ending
I'm
curly
missing a
bracket.
colon, yeah, and I'm trying to find which one it is. I believe it goes. I think it's right here. Semicolon. Nope, still not missing. All right. Well, guess what? Let me try something different. Let me back up and punt. We're gonna fix this. Okay, so we know that works. Duplicate this tab. And folks, I'm gonna go and do this real quickly. And I apologize. I'm gonna get it to work before I quit because it's making me mad. Very mad. Data, whack, IETF dash interfaces. All right, colon interfaces. That's that one, but I don't want that. I actually want it to do interfaces. And then I want whack interface equal gigabit Ethernet. One. This is the one if you're not careful, if you don't. Okay, so we got that. It wouldn't have the IP address in it, and that's where in the lab you have to go through and do the other. You have to put in the IP address by default. All right, so now I should just be able to duplicate this tab. I'm going to change this to loopback 1. Loopback 1. There we go. Change it to a put. Go to this get and go down here and select it all. So get every last bit of it all the way to the very bottom. And let's make sure we get it all that. Control C. Go to the put, body, raw. Now, if you get it in there right, Kelly, okay. And now we're just going to change this to loopback 1. The description should be KFC's loopback. All right. This should be software. Capital loop back. Okay, so all that's right. We're going to change our IP address. 10.1.1.1. And everything. Ding. If you put it in there right, it works. There you go. So there's our loopback 1 created. 10.1.1.1 and it's up. So you can take that same thing. If you need to create 200 loopbacks, you can do it. Or if you want to do a loopback 10, you just tap loopback 10. And if you, like I said, if you get the right thing in there, folks, it works fine. So we could do 172.16.1.1. Now, one of the cool things about this is think about how useful this would be in a large environment. You know, if we talk about programmability, we talk about the ability, and I know we're just doing loopbacks here, but even still, the ability to do the loopback would allow you to pull information off all your devices, allow you to do things with Python. In fact, the rest of this lab has you posting or actually pasting in a Python script and allowing Python to make changes to the device. So this programmability is fundamentally changing the way that we work with our devices on the network, and fundamentally changing the way that we're going to do our networks. Yeah, like I said, I knew I was missing one of the things, and it is put, Patrick, sorry, it is put because put is a creation. Post is, trying to remember the difference between post and put, but I'm pretty sure, I know put's the correct one.
Isn't posted like post user data that you typed into something?
I
Like you're
think so.
posting, like if you type in a web form and your username, whatever you typing in is posting that information. That's what I thought from
Post,
doing like HTTP.
yeah, and it is. It's inputting, creating a user or creating, but put inserts or replaces. Let's see. Yeah, that's, you are exactly right. Use put when you want to modify a single resource, and post when you want to add a child resource. So I guess we were adding child resources under, but with what we're doing in this particular setup, put is what is needed to develop or to create a REST API call to create an interface. So sorry, folks, I had that mistake. But what I was missing this to that. I had just messed that up and didn't pull the right thing out to get, and I would eventually troubleshot it and found it, but it was easier just to back up and punt. But the good news is this lab will work, okay? And I will set it up to where you don't have to worry about having the put can also do replace. Okay, that's a good one. So REST comp, here it is. So let's look in here. So put, create or replace, post, create, reload, default. Well, let's try something. Let's just try it. I mean, we're not out anything. All we gotta do is put post. Let's do a post, and let's change this to interface 12. It may work, may do the same thing. Put my back in there before we mess up. Let's do 12. Nope, give me a bad request. So I didn't want to fulfill that. So, but if I change this back to a put, let's see if it works fine. Yep. So we'd have to play with that and see the differences there, but it does not want to use the put can also replace. Okay. But for whatever reason, post will not allow it to create an interface. So that must be in the iOS, one of the restrictions. And there may be a way, I'm sure probably, Patrick, there's a way to create an interface or to create something with post. But every time I've done it, it's been with the put command. Again, verifying that Nginx, which is the little web server, is running, also verifying that if this is not running, your REST comp information is not running. Okay, so netcomp is not configured, and so your netcomp process is not running, and also your web server here is running. So, but I'll fix that so you don't have to worry about that issue. So if you will, folks, please do these 3 labs. And then this again is using Ansible, which is another way of doing programmability and containers and those types of things. But Ansible is built in on this image, and you can use the VS Code to use Ansible and make it happen. You may want to on some of these where you've got large code snippets, you'll probably want to open this inside of the workbench, and then that way you can copy and paste from inside the workbench, and you won't have to retype these things, because as I have proven, it is very easy to screw up the typing by no doubt, shape or form. Okay, let me end this reservation, and I'm going to fix the issue that's causing that, and I'm going to stop my share so I won't show you my administrator login. Are there any questions about those, about that?
No, that was good. Thank you very much.
Well, I apologize for the enormous screw ups, but it does happen, unfortunately. I need to take all but one pod offline.
Will the pods be back up tonight?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
In fact, they'll be up momentarily. I'll take all but one of the DevNet pods offline, and then you can you'll be able to use those for. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna test it before I give you access to it again. I'll test it and make sure there's no problem. I've got one other DevNet pod up and running, but it's a master that's actually, no, it's offline.
So for these 3 labs, we're gonna use the DevNet labs, is it
Correct.
correct?
The DevNet pod, correct.
DevNet pod, okay,
Yes.
thank you,
That is correct.
thank you.
And it should work, like I said, with no rewrites, no changes. They should work exactly the way they're written in the labs themselves. And that's why I decided to let you use that, so that you wouldn't end up with having to try to rewrite the lab and getting confused, because there's enough, obviously, as you can see, there's enough confusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the YAML file that we're gonna have for final exam, basically the interfaces, everything, it's gonna be as it is that we're gonna see on that YAML file. We don't need to do any customizations or any
Right.
changing.
I will modify the document to
Okay.
match whatever I give you.
Okay, very good, thank you.
So I'm gonna make sure the document matches what you get.
Okay, very good,
That
thank
way
you.
there won't be any, because it's a very detailed, hands-on. It's got everything. It's got all the different parts to it. So it's a very detailed, hands-on. So it's going to take me a little while to get that thing done. But I think this will be the best way to do it. Plus, we'll have it for, if I ever teach the class again, I'll be able to save it and use it again.
And just to verify, like we can't save it or we can't come back in
Oh yeah.
NetLabs, because I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do that this morning because I didn't finish a lab. Can
Well,
we save?
No, what you have to do, remember, is you go into the tab for each device, update the file, update those devices, and then export that YAML file.
Okay, so I did do that, but we'll have to create a new reservation.
Correct. Yeah.
And go back. Okay, well, at
Yep.
least did it that way. So if we start the final and we get like maybe 1/3 through, we can download what we have. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Basil ran into a very good question
What's that?
that he asked. The YAML files does not save the VLAN database. Right,
Yep.
babe?
Yep. You'll have to recreate the VLANs.
Yeah, so that
Yep.
was interesting.
That's you know why that's so? Does anybody know why that is?
Yeah, because the VLAN database is saved in the flash and everything else is saved in the, of course, NVRAM. So when you download or back up the config, it's not backing up the flash.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Which is one of the weirder things. Which is, when you think about it, that's what should happen though. I'm trying to think. It doesn't back up the VLAN database, but in the real world, you would have your VLANs. Now you're right. It won't do it. So yeah, you're just going to have to recreate them when you save them.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But
Now,
are you going to say, like, in the real world, will we have, the only thing I've run across
it should
was like
actually.
VT.
Go ahead.
No, I was thinking like, set up VTP on a server, but I haven't set up VTP yet for any of these labs.
VTP would, those settings do go with the switch, because VTP settings are in your config file. That's for sure. I do know that's true.
So I was going to say, instead of having to set up, like 3 or 4 switches, just set up VTP and then just allow them to pull the VLAN database.
That you could do. Yeah, you could do that. You'd have to have set up the one server and then do the clients. But yeah, that should work. Yeah, it's a little bit more work, but hey, guess what? It actually would help you, because that's one of the things you have to do for the lab itself, or for the CCNP.
Yeah, I'd rather do VTP than to go set up each VLAN.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
But well, and it depends how many VLANs. That goes back to, if there's 10 VLANs, then yes. If there's 3 VLANs, yeah, I might would do the VLANs, just depending on
each switch.
Yeah. Okay, folks, so I am actually in here testing at the moment. It looks like everything's okay. There's only one pod available, so if you are trying to do one of these labs tonight, there's only one pod. So until we get that issue with the virtual switch fixed, This will at least let you work on them if you need to. And then you can do that. So I'm going through checking all these to make sure it works. All right, are there any questions about class? And again, I apologize with all the screw ups, but guess what? It's real world.
Thank you.
It is real world.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
I'll have this posted in a little bit, and then you can take a look at it if you want to. So
Okay.
thanks, everybody. Have a good afternoon. By the way, again, next week will probably be our final class meeting. Well, it won't be our final class meeting because I'll probably have a couple more for us through the rest of May. But our last official meeting will be next week, and then class ends on the 5th. So we won't really have any after that. But I'll probably throw in a couple extra just during May to keep you on track.
So that's why you said do the course evaluation ASAP.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the course evaluation inside of canvas.stanley.edu. Do that one, and then the one inside of Netacad is also on. And I think all the exams are all the exams are on for you automatically, so you should be good to go.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Professor. Bye.
Bye-bye.